Welcome to Behind the Badge. I'm your host, Chief David Malloy, Director of Public Safety for the City of Novi, and I'm very honored to have as our guest today Captain Monica Yesh. Captain Yesh is with the Michigan State Police. Monica, welcome.
Well, thank you, and I appreciate being on your show today.
Super. Tell us a little bit about your background, your experience, your education, and some of the assignments you've held in the State Police.
Okay. Well, I grew up on the west side of the state, and I went to Michigan State University, got my bachelor's degree in criminal justice. As soon as I graduated from college, I went into the Michigan State Police, and my first assignment was the Flat Rock Post. So I was a road trooper in Flat Rock, quite an eye-opening experience coming from a small town on the west side of the state, moving over here in the Detroit area. But I was a trooper there, went to Northville, was a trooper there. That's where I met you when you were a road officer and I was a trooper. Then I ended up working undercover narcotics for about 3 years, found that to be a very rewarding part of my career. Did that, again, like I said, for 3 years, and then went back to the road, worked there for a couple more years. I got promoted to sergeant up in Bridgeport, moved up there, and lived up in Frankenmuth for about a year and a half. Moved back down here and became the kind of like the administrative sergeant type at our Metro post up in Oak Park. Got promoted to lieutenant down in Detroit, became the assistant post commander there. Took the post commander position over in Jackson, stayed there for about 4 years. Then came back to Southeast Michigan, and I was the post commander at our Metro South post in Taylor. And then I ran one of our undercover narcotics units in Ann Arbor, got promoted to captain in Lansing, and stayed there about 6 months and then came back here. So as you can see, I kept getting drawn back to Southeast Michigan. I absolutely love working and providing public safety in Southeast Michigan.
Tell us a little bit about your current assignment as commander of the 2nd District.
My position now, I'm responsible for all the resources the state police deploys in Southeast Michigan, which includes Wayne, Oakland, and Macomb County. And our resources that we deploy are the troopers that you see on the road, troopers that work here out of the Novi facility, but we also have troopers that work undercover in auto theft, in narcotics, in surveillance, and then we also have our Secured Cities partnership that we have in place with the City of Detroit, and we are assisting Inkster with their violent crime problem as well. So it's my responsibility to make sure those resources are deployed where they should be, and that our troopers are getting the resources they need to do their job, and that we're providing public safety to those who live in Southeast Michigan.
And I know recently we had a missing young lady who was potentially suicidal, and we called for your aviation unit that was nearby, and that's another great resource that we have in this area.
Oh yes, and you know our aviation section flies in the metro area 5 days a week from 3 p.m. till about 11 p.m. So that's an asset that anyone here in Southeast Michigan can use.
Excellent. About 4 or 5 years ago, the state police kind of reinvented itself with in terms of their deployment. Tell us a little bit about how that evolved and how that came to be.
In 2011, we had about a $17 million budget cut to the Michigan State Police. And our Colonel Christy Kibbe-Etchu, did not want to lay off troopers. So we had to look at how we were deploying and the way we were doing business. And in that, we shut down some of our state police posts. We went down to 29 police posts in the state of Michigan. With that, we call that the regional policing plan. And it's based on the crime is mobile, and we need to be able to move our assets around and our resources around wherever they're needed. So what we did was we closed all the state police posts in Southeast Michigan but one, and that's in Oak Park. It's called our Metro Post. But we can't have everyone working out of there because then they wouldn't be able to get to some of the areas. So we entered into some partnerships with some various police departments, including Novi, Northville, Detroit, and up in Bruce Township, up in Groveland. We have what we call detachments, and our troopers start and end their days there, and they provide service to the public that way.
And you have more of a, which is good in terms of what's happening in our country today, more of a community policing feel to it and more of a community policing aspect.
Right, which is extremely critical, especially in these times. It's very, very important to build public trust, and the only way you're going to do that is to work with the community. And so I think by going out and starting in Novi, for instance, the public sees us. We've had coffee with a cop. You and I have participated in that, where we went to the local coffee shop and and talk to our citizens about their concerns and so forth. And I think being part of a community is so important in making sure that we don't have a mistrust with our public.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I know you all, you have an academy class currently in session, and there's going to be another one most likely later this year. Recruiting's a big thing for the Michigan Department of State Police. Tell us, and maybe tell some of the viewing audience, if they're interested, where they would find information on that.
Yeah, we didn't hire for almost 8 years, and so our personnel were depleted, and so now we're trying to recruit not just someone who wants to be a police officer, but we're trying to recruit people who are diverse. Diversity is so important in the public that we serve. So we've had recruiting seminars. We're trying to get people interested in law enforcement. Again, that's part of that community aspect. If you're interested in being a state trooper, you can go to our website, michiganstatepolice.gov. We have a whole section on recruiting. You can get information through there. You can also sign up to take the civil service exam, because becoming a trooper is a process, just like here in Novi. You have to take a written exam, you have to take a physical agility test, you have to do a complete and thorough background investigation. And once all that is done, then you sit and you have a hiring panel, and then they determine whether or not what was found in your background will make you a good trooper or not. And then of course you go through recruit school, and recruit school is about 22 weeks, and it's physically and mentally demanding. That's why we try to find those that are prepared to do that. And so I encourage people who are interested in that to give themselves some time, because it takes about a 7-month period in order to go through the process.
Excellent, excellent. And I know, real quick, you guys are now doing the policing of Belle Isle in Detroit and doing an outstanding job there. I hear nothing but positive feedback from not only the community members in Detroit, but also various elected officials, journalists who are absolutely amazed at the level of service you're providing there.
Well, and it's good. And another part of being part of the community, when we went out there last year, we weren't exactly welcomed with open arms at first, but I think by the end of the summer, people realized that we're only there to provide public safety for people. Your family should be able to go there and be safe and not fear of being part of violent crime or anything like that. So, but we also, we have, like I said, a big community proponent aspect of that, and that is to have events where we can get to our kids and let them know that they can trust the police officers, and with the elderly, that they can trust us as well. So it's been a pretty huge success. We're ready to go back out on the island again. We have a bike program, and we're ready to get that going.
Excellent. Well, Captain Yesh, thank you for your time today. Thank you for your service to not only this area, but to the entire state of Michigan. You guys are outstanding partners, and we appreciate all you do.
Well, I want to say personally, I appreciate what you and Novi have done for us. You're an outstanding law enforcement partner, and we truly enjoy working with you. So thank you again.
Thank you very much. And to you, the viewing audience, thank you for tuning in to Behind the Badge. And until next time, continue to watch Novi Television.